Hey guys, welcome back inside the stash. We got our January Hobbylink Japan box in here, so we're going to go over that real quick. 4 kits, so it'll be a relatively brief video for once. Now that we're sort of kind of caught up, I'm sure I could go backwards a little bit more into the stuff from the summertime, but we'll spare you for now. And just cover the truly recent things here. Did get 2 sheets of decals from LB Productions. These did come with, because you can select it from the drop down menu to include them. Normally they're sold separately, but you can buy them with the decal sheets. These did come with the flipped spoiler for the Evo 2s for the Audis, but you've seen the spoiler before, so I'm not going to drag it back out here. But we did get, I said, 2 sheets here. These are the most recent ones available. So we have the Car Collection Motorsport Verstappen.com ADAC GT Masters 2022 car here. This is in part sponsored by the Verstappen of F1 fame. He is part owner of this team. It is obviously a Red Bull sponsored car, and there are, despite the blurred imaging here for copyright reasons, there are the full complement of sponsor decals included. This is pretty much a paint the car white and the decals will do everything else type of sheet. Let me tip this the right way. And you can sort of see some of the Red Bull logos are split up, and then this little piece of decal here has all of the missing pieces, missing logos and stuff like that. But like I said, the decals do pretty much all the color things on here, and there's a mask included in here for painting your roof. Your roof on here is black, so allow includes paint masks that go up over the A and B pillars on both sides to mask off the roof, so you can just paint that black and you're on your way. Bob's your uncle, as the saying goes, because even this little splot right there is covered with a decal on the decal sheet. So really all you gotta do is paint the roof and you're on your way with that one. And then the other one, also an Audi, is this, the Uno Racing Team from the 2022 Macau Grand Prix GT Cup. So this race just occurred back in November. So this is a really quick turnaround on this. This is a Tarmac Works Hello Kitty livery. And much like the Red Bull, for copyright reasons, the full livery is not included on the back of this sheet, but the full decals are included in the decal sheet as well. There's a painting guide here that gives you paint colors, because there are no actual colors included on the decal sheet. You paint the car obviously a white for the base, and then he does call out Tamiya TS sprays, I believe, for all of these, for the yellow, the green, and the blue and red. And then, yeah, your decals sort of fill out the rest. That's why there's not too much to this decal sheet. It's, pretty small, and then the fill in here for all of the verboten decals. Also gives you instructions on how to, down here at the bottom, to carbon fiber certain parts of the car. The Macau GT is a 2-race event at this point, and it's a short race and then a longer race, and the basically the aggregate point total is who your winner is, unless the same guy wins both races. In the first race, they were involved in a early lap accident that took out several other cars. They managed to put the car back together again, and it ran with some of the paint scheme changed and in raw carbon fiber, because they had put new pieces on the car. So it's a kind of cool that gives you the paint call outs for that, as well as a couple of the decal changes to the car on the rear fascia and the right, right front corner. Try to think of it. That's your left, but it is the right on the car. The right front corner was damaged as well. So it's just an interesting little tidbit there for folks that like their decal sheets completely complete. So we got 4 kits here, and it is a nice spread across the manufacturers instead of all just being Hasegawa kits for once. But we'll start with Hasegawa. Their kit for January that I picked up is this one. It is the Toyota Supra A70, a reissue of the racing version of this kit that's been done. I believe this is the 5th racing version at this point. This is the 1991 Tooheys 1,000-kilometer race. This is the Bathurst track in Australia, so 1,000 kilometers of Bathurst. This car finished 18th in the race overall, but a fairly famous Supra in Bathurst competition. Decal sheet's pretty minor in this because the car is mostly white, as it turns out. Well, not as it turns out, as it is. Just a small little smattering of red and blue decals to sort of complete the little checkerboard-ish, if you want to call it that, pattern. It is nice to see that, like, on this and this are the cutout for the front headlights, so you do get the not you don't have to cut it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to trim the decal around the headlight opening, because on these kits, the way they're designed by Hasegawa, these headlights can be positioned open. You wouldn't do that on this kit because obviously it's closed, but it is nice that that little, cutout is there already, so you don't have to cut around it. Anytime you don't have to cut a freshly applied decal is a good time. Otherwise, kit is exactly the same as it has been in several last reissues, especially for the 1991 cars, which have the global Toyota logo included in them rather than the Toyota in block lettering that the earlier cars had, but otherwise an unchanged vehicle beyond that. Over at Aoshima, they reissued this kit, which is a 2000 model year Honda Accord station wagon. What's interesting about this kit is that it had one release back in 2007 in the factory stock format. It's come out a few other times in the various C-West, Garson DAD, and other tuner versions of this wagon that they've done, but the factory stock one that actually has factory stock wheels, factory stock trim, only one release in 2007. It's never been reissued since then. So to have it come back 25 years later, or not 25 years later, but 15 years later at this point, yeah, cool. Because getting the original one was near to impossible. I don't know if they just didn't make very many of them, or people actually built them back in the day, or they're just hoarding them. But at this point, hoarding them's not going to do any good because they're what your kit value. This is a big box of parts, as most Aoshima kits are. It gives you the ability to do like an early and late version of the second, I don't know if it's second gen technically. There is a kit that looks very much like this. Actually, somebody told me the other day that they had this kit, but I know they didn't because you just got reissued not too terribly long ago. This isn't a January kit. I think it was a November kit or maybe an October kit. I had actually skipped on it because they did a 1996 Honda Accord station wagon, which is the one that everybody thinks of when they think of an Aoshima Accord. But this one was done, again, later on. And it includes this, I don't know what generation Accord wagon this technically would be, because this is obviously a JDM only car. We didn't get the US spec, didn't get this Accord wagon. But this is like a minor refresh of the 96 body style. It may say on the back here what generation. Third generation. Okay, so third generation. This is like a third and a half generation. Then it does include smoked windows for the rear glass and basically the rear passenger and the cargo compartment. That's a nice touch, but it is the only rear glass you get. A lot of these kits that are like this, they give you clear glass and smoked glass, and you have the choice. This one, you only get the smoked glass for the back end. And you get a couple of bumpers in here as far as the rear bumpers go. I think there's a couple of front bumpers in here as well. Because again, it gives you the option to do a late version, early version, a couple of different trim levels and things like that. So you pay attention to the instruction sheet basically, as is the usual for one of these Aoshima reissues where they've done several things here. You can see here that you can build it as a late SIR, an early VTL, along with this just base CF6 body style. So very, very, very minor differences between all those options, but they are in the box if you're interested in exploring them, I guess. And then from Fujimi, this kit is now in its 4th or 5th reissue. This kit came out middle of last year. But this version just was released this month, or well, last month at this point, because it's February as I'm recording this. But this is the Suzuki Jimny JB23 Land Venture. I assume it's a land adventure and not an actual purchasing of land for future development. But this one is molded in white. Pearl white, actually. Actually, what this says is white pearl, no glue needed, no paint needed. And this was also prior to this, November, I believe, might have been December, was released in this blue color. So the blue and the white are on this box art. It seems like some point along the line they decided they were going to release a kit without really talking too much about it that was more towards the experienced builder. These easy kits, as they're known, are, or actually I believe at this point these are what Car Next is what they call these, the next gen modeling. But these are snap tights. They are molded in color. So there was a metallic brown one, a metallic green one, this dark blue one, now a pearl white one, and the shtick is that you don't have to do anything to them. They're kind of like the Aoshima Liberty Walk Lamborghinis in the sense that you're just supposed to put them together, and they all up to this point had included stickers, Mylar stickers. Not what I want in my model kit, as I am at this point in my life, I'd like to think, at least more than a basic modeler. They didn't mention to anyone what this kit would include, because I think they just decided to throw it out at the end, as evidenced by the fact that this is a sticker that is stuck onto this blue box art. This end cap here is a sticker that's just stuck over the blue box art's data label. And what is cool about this kit is, water slides. That's right, none of the other kits in this series have included water slide decals up to this point, but this one does, and it includes some metal transfers for your mirrors and your Suzuki logos and your Jimny logos. Holy crap, nobody said that was coming in this kit. Nobody knew that was coming in this kit as far as I know. Yeah, very cool. Does include obviously the full sheet of Mylars here if you're interested in using that. But this instruction sheet has been updated slightly to include the fact that it does have decals in here, because it's telling you how to apply water slide decals. And this kit overall is in the same vein as a lot of their other Next kits have been, in terms of like the Velfire van and the FJ Cruiser and the Suzuki Hustler Mazda Flare, where this is kind of little Lego-y in the sense that like your fenders are separate and your hoods are separate and your roof's separate and your rear door is separate and all these other parts like that that would traditionally be molded into the body. But what that does do, of course, is eliminates panel lines entirely from the body, which allows you, of course, to paint it or to assemble it without painting it, because you no longer have to smooth out body lines. So yeah, it's pretty cool. They do give you painting instructions in here, which is something the other instructions did not have, because they assumed you were not going to paint it. And overall, it's a pretty cool little kit. This is the Suzuki Jimny that existed between 1998 and 2018. So it's not the brand new Jimny, but it is the most recent one beyond that. I don't think this is very much of a pearl white, at least not from what I can see. But I wanted one in white because I can paint it whatever color I want to without having to worry about painting it over colors. Always a nice thing. And yeah, it's certainly stuffed full of parts, as it doesn't really, the box lid just wasn't fitting when I came here and isn't going back on. And lastly, in this shipment is the latest release from BMAX, which is, yes, the BMAX name is back. And this is the Lancia Delta S4 in the 1986 Catalonia Rally winning livery for Team Griffon Esso Oil. I have mentioned in the past, Deco Costs did a sheet of this for the Griffon black and gold livery. It also is a rally winner, I believe, in 1986, but it's not this same rally. So if you had that set of decals, you'd still need a car to put them on. What's really nice about this is the decal sheet. There's a lot of different ways to do gold decals. Most of them suck, but this one happens to not. Another nice feature of this, we'll just grab the, is, well, one, BMAX name coming back means the BMAX color call-out sheet is back. I don't understand, and it says the Platts logo on here now, so if you wanted to argue about the fact that BMAX and Nunu aren't the same company that distribute through Platts, yeah, well, it's not Aoshima anymore with the BMAX name. But yeah, that's nice to have back. These are just cool to have in general, being a color call-out sheet rather than being black and white. I don't understand why the Nunu kits don't include color call-out sheets like that. I just don't understand the purpose of it being only in the BMAX boxing, but it is what it is for the moment. This, as a lot of the new BMAX new kits for since about fall of last year, window masks, so windshield, rear window, side windows, rear deck windows. So this also actually includes a mask you can cut out, or a cutout in the mask for the driver's side. That includes the vent that is in the windows. You look at let's see if I get the right piece of clear out here, because that's the rear hatch and the undercarriage. Where did the clear parts that I want go? Oh, they're over there. That's right. They fell out when I was moving things around. Sorry for all the rattling. If you look here, your driver's side actually and your passenger side have the sliding, what do you like to call it, the toll booth windows. So it does include to take the mask off of there, around there, to paint the trim around the toll booth, and then you would have basically a double mask, right? So if this makes sense, you take this chunk out, you mask off the window, and then you put this chunk back over top of here in the middle, and you'll end up with a two-stage mask where the window frame itself will be outside of the mask, and then this window frame will be outside the mask. So very neat, very cool. And again, that is for both windows. And then these are the inside windows, so you don't have to make your own inside window mask, which is always nice. Tamiya, in all their grace and goodness, does not, if you've noticed, for the most part, include inside window masks. Now, they've done some in some kits recently, but not all of them in every kit. And the other thing, and why did I put that all the way back down there? I know I needed it. Basically, because I figured, you know what you guys would really appreciate? How about I rattle some plastic bags over and over and over again right below the microphone to the camera? But I wanted to show you the decals. That was the sort of the money payoff to this. Is you have two sheets in here. One has the actual logos and trademarks and everything else like that. These are super nice decals, as they tend to be from New and BMAX. So they're nice and glossy. A good register. Everything is super finely registered. You got seatbelts down here. If you want to do it that way, you've got all the Raleigh computers and gauge clusters and everything there, along with all of the, like I said, associate sponsorships and the SO and all that stuff. But again, you can make gold decals in a number of ways and have them look like crap. These are gold decals, where they are metallic and they're gold. They are not. Look at those Raleigh Catalonia logos. And those Sergio Vuebos, is it Vuebos? Or Vuedas? Segura Vuedos logos. They're all gold foil in there. A lot of places would do those in metallic brown, and you'd have some cruddy looking decals. And what's very nice about this being metallic gold is that if you paint metallic gold, it's going to match the decal sheet. So the way this is set up is these are the side panels. This is the rear panel that's on the hatchback part of the engine cover. This is the roof, and then this goes around the front. What you end up painting on this model is actually the forward portion of the front end here. So this stripe is the decal. That's what this is right here. And then you have this gold bar is this right here, and then you have, again, these little sections here are the parts that are coming down here. Basically, all of this is covered, so you just have to paint the front gold, and it would be very, very obvious, if you can't figure out what I'm going for there, if you painted the front end of it gold and all of the corresponding decals were a weird shade of metallic brown, which is what gold usually prints as if you're not willing to pay the freight to get actual metallic decals done. I'm looking at you, Hasegawa. So, yeah, that is a very, very nice feature, to have them actually be gold rather than some other odd shade of printing. Because if you do CYMK printing, which is what Hasegawa does for most of their decal sheets, you can't print silver or gold with that. You can print a metallic, a lightish, kind of sort of metallic gray. It's not even really metallic because you can't print can't print metals with a CYMK printer. and you obviously can't paint gold. It just comes out brown. So professionally done silk prints, always your best friend. And this will be a very cool one, livery-wise, when it's all said and done. Black and gold, can't go wrong. It's there we go. As it goes in and out of focus, very very cool looking kit, and full engine in this. If somehow you've missed the two kits they've done previous to this, it does have a full engine. This back hatch opens, and yeah, that guys wraps this one up. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys on the other side.